So what I need you to do is go to youtube.com and then type in, Phifer football and look for our stream. And then when you see that live stream, that's the link that you're going to post.
I got it.
Awesome.
Are you ready to go?
Yep.
Okay.
Let me know when you post it.
Just posted.
Cool. All right, guys. Welcome to episode 2 of the NFL Rumors podcast. Joined here by one of the owners of the NFL Rumors account. Famous Twitter account on Twitter. Always trending, always with the latest rumors. Episode 2. If you guys listen on any platform, we're on Apple, Spotify, Pocket Cast, all those podcast platforms. So go ahead and make sure you follow us on all those and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining. What are some of the latest rumors you want to talk about today?
Yep. So, welcome everyone. Some of the biggest ones we really want to kind of talk about is the trade deadline. What happened?
Yeah.
Right. That's kind of what we want to get into today. With that, so that's really exciting. I mean, we've not seen a trade deadline like this ever, actually. And when we're looking at that, per Adam Schefter, that the 10 trades that were done at the deadline were the most ever.
It was, yeah. That's what I heard that as well. What were some of the surprises and then some not surprises that you noticed there towards the deadline?
Yeah, one of the big surprises was the T.J. Hawkinson trade to that was in division. You rarely see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you rarely see an in division trade, and he had mentioned, and we had tweeted out that he couldn't control the trade rumors or anything like that, which is normal. So, but he did say that he was looking at that, right? So I think the team had talked to him about it, and when the team had talked to him about it, we went through that, and he ended up moving in division to a really good team. Minnesota's been a big surprise team with Kirk Cousins. Justin Jefferson's going to really open up Justin Jefferson because they're going to have to guard the middle of the field now with TJ. So
yeah, it's kind of nuts, honestly. Like you said, you never see that interdivision trade like that. But from a fantasy football standpoint, I do believe that this is better for TJ Hawkinson because, hopefully he'll get more targets and everything. I think this is a good move overall for the Vikings. Just because Hawkinson wasn't really getting those consistent looks in Detroit, man. Like, you saw a couple weeks ago, he had over 40-something fantasy points and over 180 yards receiving. Mm-hmm. I mean, imagine if they gave him the ball every week like that, what he could do. And in this kind of passing attack, you got Justin Jefferson, who's probably going to be, double teamed or at least getting, the best cornerback on the best receiver, man to man. You got Adam Thielen, who's the red zone target. I just think that he's going to add a lot to this offense that's already been clicking.
Oh, I agree with you. I think it was a really great trade with what was going on there. So, I think it was a big one. I want to move on to the next one is Chase Claypool to the Bears. What did you think about that one?
Dude, I'm a Green Bay fan. Knowing that the Packers were in on Chase Claypool, who we also offered a second-round pick, and then the Bears came in, offered a second-round pick as well, and they ultimately chose to send Chase Claypool to the Chicago Bears. rather than the Green Bay Packers because they believe that the Bears are going to have the higher draft pick. I don't think. I mean, you got Darnell Mooney there. He's a nice weapon for Justin Fields, sure. It's the Bears offense. I'm not sure he's going to come in and make the immediate impact. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to take him a little bit to learn the system. It's going to be the same Green Bay system that they run with Getsy. So once he learns the system, I mean, he could definitely be there. One of the things that he commented on was he said he didn't think he was used to his potential. Matt Canada's been under fire there for Pittsburgh. Yeah. So, sometimes when there's smoke, there's fire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And, so he might come in and do really well. So one of the things I want to talk about, I had all kinds of followers reach out to me this week before we got into the podcast and said, hey, I need you guys to talk about the Packers. And I was like, okay.
So much wrong with the Packers right now.
Well, we got the Packer guy here, Tanner. He's been the fan and he covers the Packers as well. So talk to me about what you think they should have done at the deadline and what they didn't do.
One thing the Packers struggle with, dude, is like this guy Aaron Rodgers has given you 17 years of Hall of Fame play, and you cannot go out and just make a trade for a simple veteran wide receiver. It doesn't even have to be a big name, but get him some help. It's just year after year, it's constant disappointment. I don't know how you let him down. Every single team right now is in a win now mode. That's the way the NFL's played. Even the MLB is like that. You got the Dodgers who stack up every year. Padres. It's every team is in win now. The Rams did it. That's how they won the Super Bowl last year. They're not looking that well this year, but they were in win mode last year. The Eagles are in win mode this year with all the trades they're doing. You've got to invest, and the Packers do not do that. They're struggling, and it's going to bite them in the butt, man.
Yeah, one of the things that now we haven't heard yet that they were in on Brandon Cooks, and we're going to open that up a little bit with Brandon Cooks, but they weren't in on Brandon Cooks. Now, something we reported there pretty much before everybody, as you've probably seen, was there's a lot of interest with the Cowboys.
Brandon Cooks to the Cowboys. Yeah, you guys got that first before anyone.
Yep. So we were told
10 hours.
Yeah, we were told that Brandon Cooks, the Cowboys dialogue was there. And as they come out, I think Albert Brewer even said today or yesterday that they couldn't get together. Like, they wanted the Texans wanted a second and a fourth. Cowboys was offering a third and a fifth. So they couldn't. But
the thing is the salary. He's guaranteed $18 million.
Yep, that's what you're gonna have to pay to get him. But this is something's interesting, and it's something that we posted. We posted that on the 2nd, right? Listen at these names that are free agents coming up: AJ Green, Jamison Crowder, DJ Chark, Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb, Sammy Watkins, Paris Campbell, Juju, McCole Hardman, Jacoby Myers, Sterling Shepard, Julio Jones, Cam Sims, Juwan Jennings, and Marcus Callaway. That is your big free agent class of receivers.
And nothing's really overwhelming.
The 3 of them are Packers.
3 of them are Packers. Sammy Watkins, Alan Lazard, and Kabi. So, goodness gracious, dude. It's just like they don't have help. Your Packers are going to lose everything. They're all veterans for sure, but that's like an underwhelming free agent wide receiver class. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Very underwhelming. And one thing I will say about this class, Brandon Cooks is about to get paid. This class is going to make him get paid. Like,
he already did get paid. Money. He signed that 2-year extension 7 months ago?
Yeah. He might get a better pay. because if he gets traded in the offseason, like he, in my book, is better than anybody on this list.
Yeah, that's true. But he is 29 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what his birthday is when he turns 30, but he's been one of the really consistent wide receiver. The only thing that worries me is the amount of concussions that he's had early on in his career.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like he's so good. He is good.
Yep.
But do you think that? So the Texans right now, what do you think they're going to do with Brandon Cooks? Do you think that? Here's what I predicted. I made a video on it. I think the Texans are going to somehow like try to restructure his contract and make it to where like he's not fully guaranteed $18 million next season,
Mm-hmm.
or they're going to find a way where they can release him, or maybe wait till the offseason and try to trade him where they don't take as much dead money. That's what I think. Well, I'm not really sure how all the financials work though.
Yeah, one of the things that we had talked about yesterday was Brandon Cooks. There was a lot of rumors around him. We heard from a couple different people that he could ask for release in the upcoming days.
But I don't think they'll grant that.
I don't either, because they could have got a 2 draft picks for him. So
yeah,
I don't think it'll happen unless it just happens where he says, "Hey, I don't want to play no more this year," and then they have to move him in the off season.
Yeah, I think that's what he's trying to do is just force their hand. But didn't Lovie Smith say he's returning Monday? Like he's returning back to the team facility on Monday?
Well,
does he really know that?
Well, I think one of the biggest things too is what came out yesterday. Probably the biggest voice on that team right now is Laramie Tunsil, right? And
yes,
Aaron Wilson had he had a video with Laramie, and shout out to Aaron on this. He said, Laramie said, we welcome him back with open arms. So in essence, it's like we're going to race. Forget, we know it was tough at the trade deadline. We understand.
right.
Well, we're just going to erase the slate. Just come back just like you were playing. He's the voice of the Texans right now in the locker room.
And he filled in for a team captain. So Brandon Cooks is usually a team captain. Laramie Tunsil wore the C on his chest last night. He filled in for Brandon Cooks as a team captain. So he's definitely a voice in that locker room.
For sure.
He says, we will welcome him back with open arms. But, like, do you think he's going to try to come back or not?
Yeah, I would imagine he doesn't have a lot of choices if they won't release him, right? If he wants to play, think about it like this. If you want a team to trade for you, you want to show that you can do it. What if Brandon Cooks would have played last night? That team was close to beating the Eagles last night.
They were kind of close. I mean, I can't find my words. The first half, it was 14-14. And then they kind of were still doing okay. The first few drives of the second half, the Eagles had, 2 or 3 and outs before they kind of got clicking. They were close, man. They could have done it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's something to we just have to keep that, look at the monitor that, and see what's going on, see what we hear. I'll move on to some other trades that we've seen. The big one that happened, that is Bradley Chubb, and then he signed an extension yesterday.
Yep.
So he was traded for Chase Edmonds and a haul of draft picks.
It was a first rounder as well, right? Or was it a second round?
Right. In Miami, just to talk about this really quick, we're going to talk about the Trey Lance trade and what they were able to do with those first round picks. So
Trey Lance trade.
Yeah. So when Miami was involved in the Trey Lance trade, where when the 49ers traded up to get those picks, right? So, Yeah. So what ends up happening? Here's how Miami used their picks, Tanner. They gave one for Bradley Chubb. They moved up, got Jalen Waddle with another, and the other one they used for Tyreek Hill.
I mean, that's a good trade-off there.
Yeah, so that was an exceptional trade, and I know that was reported by SI.
Yeah.
That trade there was reported. I was looking at that, and that's a really good trade by Chris Greer. And you have to consider him possibly with Chubb, Tyreek Hill. Like you have to consider him with Howie Roseman for Executive of the Year.
Yeah. So hang on. That's how the 49ers got Trey Lance, right? They traded
A slew of first
with
round picks. Yeah.
to trade up to draft Trey Lance.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of nuts
Yep.
because I mean, Trey Lance had only played in so many like limited games, and then they picked him third overall or something. Man, I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, everybody in that draft thought they was going Mac Jones.
Yeah.
But they end up going with Trey Lance, and I've not posted it yet, but they were some interesting things this morning that were saying.
Oh, do we got a rumor here?
Yeah, we got something.
What do we got?
Tom Brady is still interested in playing for the 49ers.
Wait a second. Tom Brady was linked to the Miami Dolphins this offseason. So what are you talking about?
Right. So Tom Brady, with a couple different reports that came out over the last couple of days, saying that he might not be dead, that he would be interested in going to San Francisco to finish his career. Right. That is his team. He grew up in that area. Joe Montana was his hero. So that might not be something dead. Let's just say Jimmy moves on to another team next year. Trey Lance say, hey, Trey, would you be okay to sit behind and learn by Tom Brady for a year?
Dude, no way. No way. That's a rumor right there.
Yeah, it is. We've not put anything together on it yet, but we will today. We'll drop it in. But live right there. But that would be very interesting. He struggled with he struggled with the Bucks this year.
He's struggling right now, man.
Yeah, I mean, and he's got some weapons there for Tampa.
He really does.
Yep, he's got Julio Jones, who is on the back half of his career, but then you got Chris Godwin, you got all those other weapons that
Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, which they don't even use Scotty Miller as much as they should, but Scotty Miller's fast. Leonard Fournette, freaking Cameron Brate. They got Julio Jones there right now. When he's healthy,
his first touchdown.
He did, yeah. Yep. That diving touchdown, 2 weeks ago?
Yep. So like Miami, we'll get back to them. Miami, Bradley Chubb made the deal. The Broncos got Chase Edmonds, which the Broncos could use him with the injury to their young running back.
Yes. Yeah, Javonte Williams out for the year with a torn ACL, I believe. Mm-hmm. But, do you really believe that Chase Edmonds is going to be that guy? I mean, I know they don't trust Melvin Gordon right now, but, they got Latavius Murray, who's honestly experienced. He's 32 years old, 32 or 33, and he's good. He could be an RB1. But do you think Chase Edmonds is going to come into Denver? I just don't see him being that back they need.
I think he's going to be more the third down back in Denver.
Receiving?
Right now. Yeah, right now. I think he's going to be more the third down back and going from there. We'll have to see how it plays out, but, he I mean, think about it with your Packers. They run the same system.
Yeah.
Right? Think about Aaron Jones or think about Jamal Williams. Right? That probably how they want to use them.
With Jamal Williams?
Mm-hmm. That went over
on the Lions?
Detroit. Yeah. That played in Green Bay.
Well, he did. Yeah, he did play in Green Bay. And he's a nice 1-2 punch with DeAndre Swift there as well.
Yep. So next we'll move on to the Dolphins again. So they got Jeff Wilson from San Francisco.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So yeah, they did.
Jeff Wilson is going to pair with Raheem Mostert, who both of them were together in San Francisco with Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
So yesterday, Jeff Wilson said it was like riding a bike. Right? I mean, he said it's the same system, same verbiages. I mean, everything's there. He was like Raheem Mostert took him out for dinner when he was in San Francisco. He mentored him, so
Yeah, that's true.
So he said he's
Mostert's
really
there.
happy to be there.
McDaniel's there. Wow, yeah, that's all the connections are there. Honestly, the only question mark with Jeff Wilson, I mean, he's great when he's healthy. He's a good running back. It's just when he's healthy. They always have injuries, man. Him and Mostert both always injured.
Yep, that's something that we'll have to monitor. If Wilson and Mostert could be what they were in San Francisco when they ran for that Super Bowl year, I mean, they could get Miami what they need to do as far as the play action to keep that going with Tyreek Hill and the gang there, because they're doing really well there in Miami.
Yeah. But still, it's just like, is Miami, do you think they're frauds or are they the real deal?
I think Miami's the real deal this year.
Really?
I don't know. I definitely don't think they'll win the division, but I do think that they'll at least come in a wild card.
You think they'll come in a wild card, huh?
Yeah, Bills are just loaded, right? The rumor, when you're talking about the rumors, like Von Miller's still saying OBJ when he gets healthy is over to Buffalo. So if they add him with what they already got in the receiving core, I mean, that's going to be pretty unstoppable.
That's true. I mean, definitely the Bills are the favorite in the AFC. To me, it's the Bills or the Chiefs. Could talk about one team right now who's doing really good. Who's the most fraudulent team that you see? Who's got a winning record and is probably overplaying what they truly are?
Let me think about that. Overplaying who they are.
I could tell you my team.
Okay, go ahead and tell me yours, and I'll think about mine.
My team would be the New York Giants.
The New York Giants, man. The Giant fans are going to come get you.
I know it. Well, the thing is like, not that I don't think that they're doing an amazing job and I don't have faith in Brian DeBall. I do. I think he's doing an amazing job as a coach. It's just like they're just overplaying what they truly are. Like, you got Daniel Jones. Let's not act like he's a tier 1 quarterback. He's not. He's Daniel Jones. I still think they should move on from him. They should get a better option at quarterback. They don't have a receiving core. They've lost Sterling Shepard for the year. Richie James Jr. is hurt, and he's not going to be a weapon. Kadarius Toney's traded. Kenny Golladay hasn't been playing. They've got nothing at wide receiver. Nothing. You got Saquon Barkley. That's it. Their defense has been playing, been good or bad? I don't even know.
Yeah, their defense is really good. Like, their defense is, top notch. The difference with the Giants for me is, Daniel Jones is a multifaceted quarterback that can run. But that could catch up to you when you do not have a receiver to throw the ball to. We're talking about right now, you got Kenny Golladay, who is backed up the Brinks truck, but not really doing too much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
backed up the Brinks truck.
Yeah, and not really doing a lot, right?
No, he just got the bag. He got all the money, but he's not playing.
Yeah, right. He said he wants to come and contribute, but that's yet to be seen. We'll have to look at that. The other one, you talk about. I mean, then you say, "Hey, who's the next wide receiver?" Well, when you think about it, I mean, they traded off Tony.
Yep.
They traded off him. They just got their wide receiver just got a concussion. But they were
Richie
using
James.
Richie James. Just got a concussion that they were using. So that's another receiver down.
They have who is it? Darius Slayton? Is he there?
Darius Slayton is going to be their go-to guy right there, right? He's got to be
let's not act like Darius Slayton's a wide receiver 1.
No, he's definitely not a wide receiver 1, man. I think they got to feed the rock to Saquon.
Yeah.
drop the passes off. Let him be in essence Christian McCaffrey, right? In
Yeah.
essence, that's who they need him to be: catch the ball, run the ball. Let Daniel Jones do a lot of that movement at the line. Who's getting the ball, Daniel Jones or um, Saquon. And you remember, not long ago, Daniel Jones took some hits, right? And he was out for the season last year.
Well, and you also got to remember that, like right now, I think how many wins do the Giants have? Are they 6 wins or 5 wins? I'd have to look at the standings.
They actually lost last week against Seattle.
That's right.
Yeah,
but it's like half of their wins right now are in the fourth quarter, like in like final drives of the game, aren't they?
Yeah, so it's like 6-2. They're tied for second with the Cowboys.
Okay, yeah, so 6-2, and I think 3 or 4 of those wins have been like fourth quarter comebacks. Like that's not going to continue to happen. I mean, that's like you got to play full 60 minutes. Don't get me wrong; it's great that they're able to do that and come back, but it's like I don't know, man. Like you gotta find a way to not be behind in the fourth quarter and rely on that just magic happening to make a fourth quarter comeback. For the Giants, to me, they're fraudulent.
Yeah, one of the things that I would say, like, this hurts me to say this, but
what?
The Falcons, I think, are fraudulent a little.
Fraudulent.
Right?
Agreed.
The reason why is I want to talk about them just for a second, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Falcons lead their division at 4-4, right? The Buccaneers are, even though the Bucs have struggled, they're 1 game back at 3-5. The Saints has had tons of injuries. Michael Thomas is out for the season.
Yeah.
Right. Jameis Winston's been replaced by Andy Dalton. They're 1 game out of first.
NFC South is a joke right now, man.
So let me throw this one up here. Panthers traded Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They right now are 2 games out of first place at 2-6.
What a mess.
And check this out. In the game last week, if their field goal kicker actually makes 1 of those 2 field goals, just 1, the Panthers are in first place right now.
NFC South, bro.
Yep.
Like the Panthers have been overperforming after trading. Like they were sellers at the trade deadline.
Right.
They're overperforming with Steve Wilks, the interim head coach. Do you think that if they can continue to play this way, do you think they're going to offer him the job?
I think so. I think they could with that. But it's still hard to say with that.
It is early. He's only coached 2 games for him, I think.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's still early, and see what he does. One of the other ones we want to talk about is want to move on to the Bills and Nyheim Hines. He was traded from the Colts. Now, check this out.
That's a big one.
Right, it is big. You know why? Because Jonathan Taylor is trending not to play this week.
Dude has done nothing.
Yeah.
If you're a fantasy football owner and you drafted Jonathan Taylor, I'm sorry. I think he's a very talented running back, but it's like, bro, come on. I know that offensive line is not what it used to be, and the whole offense is not clicking, but they're so much more talented on paper than they have been performing the last several years. It's just nuts. And then you traded away Nyheim Hines to the Bills. Who is their RB2 right now?
Yeah, I have to look that one up. But he's a young back. He actually had some really good carries.
That's right, he did. He's a rookie, isn't he?
Yep, he had some really good carries. Actually, when he came in there, so
that's right. I think it was like, I want to say it's like his last name was like Edwards or something like that. It was kind of. But they also got Zach Moss. I don't see him really being a factor, but
yeah, he was traded as part of that trade for Nyheim Hines, so that was part of it. Deion Jackson is the back's name.
Why did I say Edwards? Yeah, but Jackson. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did. He I was watching the fantasy points. I think he got like maybe double digits or something.
Right. And another one was a big surprise. We got two more to talk about.
Hmm.
Another was the big surprise is Calvin Ridley from my Falcons to the Jaguars.
You're a Falcons fan. Tell me what you think about that.
Well, I don't think it was a great move. I really don't like the suspension, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, we're promoting gambling, and the guy was, he did a mistake. You know what I mean? I
But a
mean,
whole season for that?
yeah, I just don't see it. And then you got Deshaun Watson that, has got a less suspension than he does.
And you
So,
got like over 25 sexual allegations or misconduct allegations against you.
yep,
It's just nuts, man.
yep,
Uh, Suspension in the NFL sometimes does not make sense. And
no,
then something about Calvin Ridley is like he tweeted after his suspension. He's like, it was a $1,500 bet on my own team. Like, it's like, that's not even like a rich man's bet. Like, don't get me wrong, $1,500 is $1,500, but it was like, really? That's it? And you suspend the guy for a full season? But the
yeah, but
Falcons, you guys got Drake London, Kyle Pitts. Who else you got there?
yeah, I mean, we got another young receiver that is really playing well right now,
Bird.
and Bird is playing really well, and another one that has been playing pretty good is Olamide Zaccheaus.
Yes, Zacchaeus.
Yeah, remember they have Brian Edwards as well that they got from the Raiders in the
Is he
off
good though?
season. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. He's been banged up a little bit, but I think he's somebody that I'd like to see getting the offense more.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that Avery Williams has been a really big thing for the Falcons. Honestly,
yeah.
he's been like a Swiss Army knife. He does kick returns and also comes in as a really good third down back.
Listen. So you're the Falcons guy here. You're probably more up to date on the Falcons than me.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what you think, bro. Kyle Pitts. Should he request a trade? Like, I know he's only a second-year player and the trade deadline's passed, but like, they do not use him. Is he overrated? Is he underrated? Is it his fault for not getting open? Tell me what's going on with Kyle Pitts, man. He's just not getting used.
Well, Kyle Pitts is, I think the big mistake that we're doing there with him is actually we need to start designing plays that feature him, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think they're trying to fit him into their offense, right? Instead
Yeah.
of what you should do is make an offense that is designed around your players. Like, for example, Dolphins, right? They made their offense you know, to be with their players, like Tua, and you got that work with their strengths.
Yeah.
Work Kyle Pitts out to his strengths. Like he is a matchup nightmare.
He is.
Yeah, like you can. There's no linebacker that's going to cover him.
But it's why do you give him less than 5 targets a game? I don't get it, man. I
Yeah,
guess you're right. They need to tailor that offense. They're tailoring it around like Marcus Mariota rolling out and stuff, and then just using these tight ends to block rather than focusing that offense around your star players like Drake London, Kyle Pitts. They
yeah,
just got to utilize him.
yeah. Kyle Pitts, they definitely got to get him some plays that feature him,
Yeah.
and I think that will be beneficial. And we got one more that we want to talk. Well, we talk about Calvin Ridley a little bit, like to the Jaguars. He'll probably make a really good impact next season for him.
I think so.
Yeah, you got already Christian Kirk there. You got Travis Etienne there, and so they got some talent to work with. The Trevor Lawrence keeps on growing. That's going to give Trevor a 1-1A, Calvin Ridley and Christian Kirk.
Yeah, Calvin Ridley's been an elite talent. Trevor Lawrence, hopefully, I mean, they're doing the best they can to get him weapons, so he should take a step, especially next season.
Yep. So William Jackson was the last one we were going to talk about. Got a
Yeah.
lot of Steeler followers that wanted me to talk about him this week.
Mm-hmm.
So William Jackson, Steelers really needed some help in the secondary corners. They were getting roasted back there with the corners. When
Yeah.
I know one of their top corners is Ahkello Witherspoon, who played for San Francisco, but he was more of a second corner, and so you got some other corners as well that the Steelers have, but like William Jackson, in my book, will probably be the best corner that they have.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of lost a lot. Do they have Levi Wallace? I forget. Or is he with the Bills now? Or was
He got injured.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He was with the Bills, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Now the Steelers, man, they just need that help. But do you really think he's going to, I mean, isn't he dealing with a back injury?
Well,
William Jackson?
He might get, sometimes when you request a trade, you get healthy real quick, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Right. So right now, when you look at their cornerbacks, you got Ahkello Witherspoon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Cameron Sutton. Cameron Sutton's a free agent next year.
Okay.
And, the strength of their secondary is Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean,
right.
That's all they got.
Now you're going to have William Jackson probably to replace Ahkello Witherspoon, right? And so when you got that, now here's the good thing about that, Tanner. They watched William Jackson for years for the Bengals.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so that's probably a big reason that they wanted him, right? Like they watched him. He done really well when he played with the Bengals. So that could be something that they were looking at. And the Steelers, like when you talk about them for a moment, we should see George Pickens' game open up now. He's a very talented player, right? And
yes, he is.
Yeah, so you're removing Claypool. You're giving now Pickens more targets with Deontay Johnson. So we'll get to see if Kenny Pickett, how he can do the rest of the year. Ben Roethlisberger criticized him a little bit this week. So,
did he?
Right. He had been staying away from the criticizing, but he kind of criticized him a little bit. A lot of people was upset that Mitchell Trubisky didn't get to, go back in after winning them the game. But what it is this is they gotta see Kenny Pickett and they want to see him develop. But honestly, the Steeler Nation, they want Kenny Pickett in there. Like even when Trubisky was in there, they were chanting for Kenny Pickett.
Right. Like, what you're getting with Mitchell Trubisky, but the upside for a rookie who has not played in the NFL, it's his first season, the upside for Kenny Pickett is there. You know what you're getting with a veteran like Mitchell Trubisky. So they really need that star quarterback. They need to see him develop. And I'll tell you, man, George Pickens is a heck of a player. He's a guy I wanted the Packers to target in the draft, and they did not. I knew he was going to be a stud. I knew it. I tried to tell people, and I wanted the Green Bay Packers to get him, but they did not. But Kenny Pickett, man, you're right. It's going to get some more targets now. He's that true wide receiver too. Juju Smith is gone. You got Deontay Johnson and George Pickens. That's like it. And Pat Freiermuth, I guess. But
well, one of the big things now, like when you look at, like, I need a receiver, right? Mm-hmm. When you look at that at the moment, that's Odell Beckham Jr. That's how his name is. If you want to go and get a wide receiver, right, that is the guy to get, because obviously it doesn't look like the Texans are moving Brandon Cooks anytime soon.
Right? No, I mean, and how do you?
Right. So Odell Beckham Jr. is a free agent, right? So he could go sign with anybody. The biggest rumors around him is the Bills and the Rams, right? That's the two. And they was about a week or so ago, we heard the Chiefs, but then when they got Tony, that started dying down a lot.
Yeah. Right. Well, wasn't there a report by Albert Breer like yesterday or the day before? He said several teams reached out to Odell. The Packers, Bills, Chiefs, and Rams, and Giants or something have all been linked to Odell.
Yeah, the Giants is the surprise one. I mean, honestly, they're the one that could use him the most.
Yeah.
Right. They're
besides the Packers. I mean, if you talk about playoff contenders wise right now, I mean, the Giants are looking like, he's going to wait to see who's in the playoffs, is my opinion.
Well, the Packers, he mentioned that he really think Aaron Rodgers is a special quarterback. So,
Hmm.
he what it is, he's not closing the door on any of these teams. He's a big Giants fan. Him and Saquon is really close.
Hmm.
So that's something there. The Bills, him and Von Miller is really close. So you got that. And so my gut tells me that the Bills are the team because I think, he's more worried about a Super Bowl, another Super Bowl at this
At
point.
this point in your career, coming off 2 torn ACLs at the age of 30, 31, yeah, you're Super Bowl chasing, which I don't blame the guy. Like I said, he's going to wait to see who's in the playoffs. He's going to sign with the best team possible for him to get him a ring.
Yep.
And I don't blame him.
The Giants is, that's what everybody wants, right? Like everybody's like, hey, come back to the Giants, all the fans, which you can't blame them, right?
No.
He was a fan favorite there, and he was there when Saquon was a rookie. So,
Yeah.
that's pretty big. So the last rumor we're going to talk about a little bit, and this was multiple people reported this, is Jerry Jeudy was, he was involved in a lot of trade rumors.
Yeah.
And the two that was the most prevalent trade rumors was the Giants and the Packers.
Yeah.
So the Packers whiffed on Claypool and they whiffed on Jerry Jeudy. We was hearing that Jerry Jeudy was the compensation was a second round pick and maybe another late pick.
I think they wanted like a 2 and a 4 for Jeudy.
But Jerry Judy's young, man. He's a player that can develop. One of the things about the Giants, if I'm the Giants, I pull that trigger. I'm going to tell you why. Brian DeBoer had him in college with him.
Really?
Yeah, like he was with him in college in Alabama, where he shined.
Huh.
So that would have been a perfect situation. But like giving him, giving Aaron Rodgers a weapon,
Yeah.
the biggest thing now is I'm going to tell you the rumor that'll be circulating for the Packers if they keep losing games. Will Aaron Rodgers return
Dude,
to Green Bay next year?
do you blame him if he doesn't?
No, I can't say that I would blame him. Right?
No, I wouldn't either, dude. They don't do anything to help him.
They had to pull the trigger for the wide receiver. They asked the Packers after they did not make the moves for wide receiver. They said that they felt comfortable with who they had. They did try to reach out to get help, but nothing kind of worked out. But they were happy with what they had.
Terrible front office.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people's going to be under fire because this could be a straight rebuilding mode for the Packers if Aaron Rodgers leaves. Because think about it, all those wide receivers are free agents, and then not only that, you lost Devontae Adams last year.
Yeah. So you're working with rookie, or you'll be heading into the
Jordan Love.
With Jordan Love, who will be on the last year of his rookie contract, and a bunch of second year, third year wide receivers who have played almost none and have no really good experience.
Packers defense is their strength, in my opinion.
But Joe Barry's killing it.
Yeah, J.R. Alexander, they got him playing in a zone when he's great man-to-man corner.
I'm telling you, dude.
Did you hear what he said about Justin Jefferson when Justin Jefferson had all those yards?
Yes.
He said, it wouldn't have happened if I was playing in a man. If I played a man-to-man, like he would have not had those yards.
I saw a rumor actually last night before I went to sleep. Many Packers players are growing frustrated with the defensive scheme and are losing confidence in Joe Barry. I hope this is true. Because Joe Barry, I don't know why they hired him in the first place. I think we all could have called that they were going to struggle. I mean, it just makes no sense, dude, some of the hires that the Packers do. But they're usually 3-4 years behind the trend. Like, they usually don't start seeing what everyone's talking about until it's too late. Same with Mike McCarthy. Should have been gone 3 or 4 years before he actually was. And same with Don Capers, who used to be their defensive coordinator. It's just silly things like that, man. It's like, are they really going to make the necessary moves?
Right. Well, one team that's going to compete with them, we reported that this week, the Bears, right? When they made that trade and got rid of Roquan Smith and sent
Mhm.
him to Baltimore, sent Robert Quinn to Philadelphia. Well, we looked and this was per over the cap,
Mhm.
and the per over the cap they'll have $100 million next season. The Bears to spend.
And to spend?
So the Bears,
Jeez.
I want you to think about this though. The Bears made a smart move in essence, getting Claypool. Look at those wide receivers, free agents. They're saying,
I don't even
"Hey,
know.
I think Claypool is better than any of those guys." Is what they're saying.
Who do they even have besides Darnell Mooney?
They had Dante Pettis. He's a fourth receiver for him, and
That's right.
St. Brown's brother from the Lions, who's
Oh yeah,
been decent.
EQ Animus, St. Brown, and then they got N'Keal Harry, who was just activated, but I'm not even sure if he's actually like played yet. Has he?
Yeah, he has. He actually caught a touchdown.
Did he really?
Yep. So N'Keal Harry, I mean, he could be a sleeper. He's a free agent too, as soon as the season's over. But we didn't list him in just the fact that we listed just some of the bigger names there. N'Keal Harry could end up being a bigger name. We'll have to see what happens. But Chase Claypool, definitely. I mean, everybody that traded for wide receivers looked at that free agent class next year and decided to make their moves. And this is another thing that we had. If you look at all the people that either traded or re-signed people, this is why they did it. Eagles traded for A.J. Brown. Raiders went and got Devontae Adams. Raiders re-signed Hunter Renfrow. 49ers signed Deebo Samuels. Washington signed their guy, Terry McLaurin. Then you had coming in Pittsburgh, signed Deontay Johnson. Why did they do that? Look at the free agent class.
Very underwhelming. Like we went over that earlier in the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're all old. I mean, there's just no good free agent wide receivers heading into 2023. I don't want to say no good, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're all
in my opinion, the Patriots could be the sleeper wide receiver. Just in my opinion, I think the two could be, Juju Smith-Schuster will be one, and the Jacoby Myers of the Patriots will be the other.
Yeah.
They
That's
could
a
be
good point.
the sleeper. Even look at New England real quick. They had offers for N'Keal. They had offers for Kendrick Bourne. And they decided not to move him. They said they want to keep him. Why? Free agent class, man. Is all it is. Free agent class. That's why these teams did not pull triggers, because they know Tanner in the off season that they can get double of what they're getting offered right now. When you look at those free agents coming, these teams know that they could end up getting a really high draft pick and getting overpaid for somebody because of the talent that you got coming out.
And who do you like? I mean, that's a good point. That's valid. You can't argue with that. Holy cow! Yeah, I mean, underwhelming free agents, and they're hanging on to who they've got. And then I'm not even sure what the rookie class is going to look like next season. Like, I follow the NFL. I don't really follow the college football until, draft starts kicking in. Then you do some studying.
The best wide receiver in a long time to come out of college, and we put a few tweets out of him, is Marvin Harrison Jr. He's up
Ohio
for the
State.
Heisman. Yep, he's up for the Heisman. Like, when he comes in the NFL, it would not surprise me if he could be the first wide receivers. I mean, he'll definitely be first wide receiver selected when he decides to go to the NFL.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't surprise me if he's a first overall pick.
What is he, a freshman, like a true freshman?
I'm not sure on that. I had to check on that. Like I do a lot of college looking at that for the pro players. I know Matt Mueller has some really good stuff.
I follow him on Twitter.
Yep, Matt Mueller has some really good stuff that he kind of follows up with ESPN on a lot of good stuff. So he's somebody that you could really look at some of the college players. I would love to tell you, hey, I will tell you everything you need to know about a college player, but I don't want to be
Right.
dishonest there. I think
Yeah.
Matt Miller will be the
The
guy.
best bet, huh?
Yeah, to look at that. Matt's a really good guy. I've talked to him a few times. He's really good, and he's really good at what he does about the recruit. Looking at the recruiting and things. He knows his stuff, man.
That's good. Yeah. So shout out to Matt Miller on Twitter. He does a really good job. I also follow him. We're going to wrap up this podcast, episode 2 of the NFL Rumors official podcast. Guys, we have a big announcement that we've merged Discord servers. So our official Discord server, it's the Phifer football Discord server. It's powered by NFL Rumors. So make sure you guys join there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch our full podcast episodes. Listen on all platforms as well. So make sure you follow us on Spotify, Apple, Anchor, all those good stuff, guys. We are on all podcast platforms. NFL Rumors want to thank you so much for episode 2. Anything you want to get off your chest as we are wrapping up episode 2?
Yeah, well, I just want to give a big shout out to all the great followers that tuned in for episode 1. We had over 12,000 views.
Yep.
On Twitter. So I want to give them a big shout out, for, their support. Without them, it's not possible to do this.
Yep.
And, always definitely love the questions. This week, hit me up with any questions you'd like to hear up on the podcast, and we'll pick one to go over one of your questions and give you a shout out on the podcast. And
it's a great idea.
Yep, and we will definitely take care of that, and make sure that you tune in. NFL Rumors just hit 175,000 followers.
175. Oh my gosh.
Yep, we're heading toward 200,000 followers. So definitely we're getting there. Definitely getting there, and our goal is just to keep doing it. We got our Instagrams out there. Definitely, we're putting a lot of more content on that. And definitely look at the YouTube podcast, and that way you can keep up with all your rumors. We also are doing the rumors for injuries. We've been really accurate with those, with letting them go out like 2 or 3 days ahead of time of the players that's going to be playing. Like right now, we got Jonathan Taylor, and not 100%, but he is trending to be out this week.
Same with Keenan Allen that you posted.
Yep. Keenan Allen is trending to be out as well. And so we got, those two, and that's something, you can keep up with your fantasy in case you need to make moves in your fantasy.
Yep.
So definitely. And we're not going to announce it yet, but we got a surprise guest next week.
Yep.
We're going to have our first ever guest with me and Tanner, and it is an NFL insider, a well-known NFL insider. Is going to join us.
So that's going to be very, very exciting. Can't wait for episode 3. Guys, I think this podcast is going in the right direction. We're still trying to figure some things out, best ways to get ourselves out there. So bear with us as we figure things out during this first, season of our podcast. But we're going to get a good, healthy routine going. And we're going to start getting more and more guests as well. So excited for that. Once again, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to play this outro. And like I said, big shout out to NFL Rumors for the time. 175,000 on Twitter. Anything else to wrap this up, my man?
Nope, that's it. I'm glad to have you on. Hey, make sure you give Tanner a follow on Twitter and all the social media. He covers everything. He's worked with Aaron, and he's worked with Josina Anderson. He's worked with the 33rd team. I mean, he's legit. 100%.
Appreciate that. Yep. Appreciate that very, very much, guys. And thank you for all the support from all the wonderful followers who have been coming over from NFL Rumors. So can't say thank you enough. Guys, we will catch you in episode 3. So, yep.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.